Could everybody please be seated? We're going to get started. Okay, my name is Mayor Jeff LaHoyer. I am the mayor of East Rutherford. I welcome everybody here to East Rutherford. I welcome back Governor Murphy, and I welcome back, and I shouldn't say welcome back, Paul Sarlo, our senator from the 36th. Mayor Murphy was kind enough back in 2017 to sit with us, the governing body, when he was deciding to take a run for governor, and said if there was anything he could do for us, he would do it. That was great. As I said, I'm welcoming him back because with the mega center down at the racetrack for COVID, he was there when he helped open up that center. Thank you very much. Senator Sarlo, I can't say enough for you. You are more of a friend of the family than anything. So it's nice to have somebody up at the 36th district, along with all of the governing body that is here, that can help out a small town like East Rutherford. We're about 9,100 people here. Rebecca Schwartz, where are you? I'd like to thank you very much for everything you do. She's constantly calling, asking if there's anything she can do. Councilman Raventini from my governing body is here. I'd like to thank him. And again, I'd like to thank everyone for coming back to East Rutherford for this press conference. We are a small, quaint little town, but we have a lot going on. So without any further ado, I would like to turn this over to the governor, Governor Murphy.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is good to be back, Jeff, in East Rutherford, one of the great communities in this state. And I thank you all so much for so graciously today and always welcoming me. And again, Mayor, thank you for your kind words and for welcoming us to East Rutherford. I lost Frank Ciampa. Where's Frank? Frank is in row 2. Frank, this is your joint, man. Let's hear it for Frank Ciampa. And his crew here at Vesta Wood-Fired Pizza. I think I'm going to hang out with you a little bit after this and see how you do it. Sarlo tells me there's no better pizza in New Jersey, and we all know the best pizza in the country is in New Jersey. So, Frank, thank you, man. What a treat it is to be, not for the first time this week, but the second in 3 days, with one of the great fighters for New Jersey in Washington or anywhere, Congressman Bill Pascrell. I want to give a big shout out to Senator and Chairman and Mayor Paul Sarlo. We're in his district. Deep thanks for everything. And you're sitting beside Assemblyman Roy Fryman, not his district, but very important. You guys are the lead sponsors of the legislation I'm going to sign today, so let's hear it for Roy as well as Paul. Senator, man of the world, Gordon Johnson is in the house. Senator, honored as always. Bless you. 2 to your right is the Chief Executive Officer of the New Jersey Economic Development Authority, without whom a lot of small businesses and restaurants wouldn't be standing today. Let's hear it for Tim Sullivan. Sullivan's everywhere. More on that in a moment. I want to also acknowledge a couple of folks over here. Mike Egginton from the New Jersey Chamber of Commerce. Mike, great to see you, buddy. Another great friend, Jim Kirkos of the Meadowlands Chamber. Jim, always. Duvi Honig, another dear friend from the Orthodox Jewish Chamber of Commerce, who's here with his son, I might add, and a new grandfather, Mazel Tov. Luis de la Hoz, where are you, Luis? Honored, as always, of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Great to be with you. From Bergen County, Chair of the County Commissioners, Tracy Zor. Tracy. And Tim Sullivan's cousin, the Vice Chair, Tom Sullivan. Tom, always. And by the way, a great labor leader in his own right. Any other commissioners here? I don't see them. So you guys are representing with great gusto. I also want to give a shout out to Anna Maria Adnolfi from Elia Mediterranean Restaurant right here in East Rutherford, because she and her husband advocated for this bill to Senator Paul Sarlo. Let's hear it for Anna Maria. Steph, I'm told if I introduce one more person, there will be fewer people I didn't introduce than I did introduce. I don't want to go over, I don't want to tip through that. Members of law enforcement also, guys, stay safe, and God bless you for everything you do. So 2 years ago, we took steps to expand outdoor dining across New Jersey out of necessity. We had no choice. We augmented those steps almost exactly a year and a half ago as our vaccination efforts got up to full steam. And today, I'm proud in a few minutes to be signing this legislation to allow outdoor dining to continue under the principles that we introduced back in 2020 and then codified in 2021 to get our restaurants through what remains of the pandemic. But now we're not having to, the good news here, we're not having to do so entirely out of necessity. To be sure, there are restaurants and bars and our growing numbers of breweries and distilleries that are still relying upon the outdoor dining spaces they were allowed to create to get themselves back financially to where they were pre-pandemic. We want to see them succeed, period. We want them to continue serving their customers and employing their workers. But to be equally sure, I'm signing this bill today because of the ever-increasing numbers of patrons who have simply come to enjoy outdoor dining on its own, especially on a beautiful summer night or a bright weekend day or maybe even a sunny weekday. They've come to enjoy the new atmosphere and character and sense of place that outdoor dining has given to their neighborhoods and downtowns. And let me say this unequivocally, we want this to continue. We want our restaurants to not just be locations, but destinations. We want them not just to be places to eat, but places where neighbors gather and communities thrive. And this is just one way we continue to support our restaurant industry. As Paul knows, because he's the budget chair, and Gordon and Roy and other members of the legislature know, the budget I signed a month ago augments these efforts with a $50 million investment in our Main Street Recovery Fund, which is overseen by Tim and his colleagues, which works alongside the total of $850 million in pandemic relief funds we have provided to our small business community through the Economic Development Authority as well, a significant portion of which, I might add, has gone to supporting local restaurants. But let's refocus for a second on today in this legislation. What was born out of necessity to help ensure the survival of wonderful local restaurants like Vesta Frank, we are now continuing out of the recognition of the way it has positively changed both the hospitality industry and the lives of our communities. New Jersey is home to at least two of the great American pastimes: eating terrific food and people watching. I would add drinking to that as a Murphy, but I'll leave that for another day. Outdoor dining has certainly allowed many New Jerseyans to indulge in all of those at once while providing a lift to our great restaurants. It has been a win-win-win. With that, we want to hear from a few more really important folks before we sign this bill. As I mentioned, it is my pleasure to introduce a guy who is in Washington fighting for us every single day, unlike anybody I know. Please help me welcome Congressman Bill Pascrell.
Thank you, Governor. It's good to see old faces. Paul, Assemblyman, Mayor, it's an honor to be in your town. Always liked it. And someday, East Rutherford will get its real place in the sun.
It's coming soon.
Thank you. Thank you. To all of you. This is a great day. As Biden says, this is a big deal, Frank. He says some other things too in between, but you know. So good morning to you all. This is part of New Jersey's beautiful, vibrant, probably one of the most diverse districts in the whole country, Governor, the 9th District. Has the best cuisine. Oh, we're getting good arguments over that. Thanks in part to Frank Ciampa, the owner of Vesta Food Fired Restaurant. This pandemic hit our nation extremely hard, especially North Jersey. Tragically, we lost over 34,000 New Jerseyans. This virus forced us to be tenacious, creative, and unyielding. And certainly no one was more unyielding than our own governor. Because even when he was doing great things, people were still out there nitpicking while Rome burned. New Jersey's famous for that too, Governor. This virus forced us to be tenacious and creative, keep our community safe and our economy still running. Democrats in Congress heard the calls, as well as Republicans. We came together to pass the American Rescue Plan, which people have forgotten already. They didn't know what was in it. Many congressmen forgot what was in it, and it helped us recuperate from could have been a very disastrous times, and it was in many ways. It lifted millions from poverty at the time, and it took the nation off its knees. Our plan delivered $10.19 billion to New Jersey, the rescue plan, which included approximately $259 million to Bergen County and over $175 million directly to the cities in our district. East Rutherford received nearly $1 million. Our plan gave us the tools to vanquish the virus because we weren't going anyplace until we affected the virus. No place were we going. We cannot rejuvenate the economy while the virus has control of the situation. And we were working the opposite way, many folks. We needed to energize the economy and clear our communities to reopen. It supported tens of thousands of small businesses, like those in the hospitality industry. Our plan established the Restaurant Revitalization Fund and expanded the Paycheck Protection Loan Program. We promised America's entrepreneurs during the worst of COVID that we would be there for them. I think we delivered. We didn't solve all the problems because we're only human beings. Sometimes Congress should remember that. Vesta Wood-Fired was a direct beneficiary. They received 2 paycheck protection loans valued at correct me, Frank, if I'm wrong, $230,000. That sound? Frank? Right? Overall, it estimated the Paycheck Protection Program provided over $2.6 billion just to this district for restaurants. This program was essential for small businesses across our district to maintain payroll, if you could find the people to go to work, to hire back employees, and to cover overhead. The Restaurant Revitalization Fund provided over $108 million to help keep doors open. It's a vital industry for New Jersey and a lot of other places. I know it was not enough. More support is needed. We're fighting for that. That is why I was proud to join my colleagues in the House when they passed the Relief for Restaurants and Other Hard-Hit Industries Act. Our bill would provide $55 billion to replenish and create new programs for small businesses that were impacted by COVID. This bill has been stalled in the Senate like everything else. But you keep fighting. You do not yield, Governor, and you haven't because of the opposition. Governor Murphy knows we need to help our restaurant industry, and we're going to. We are here today to sign a bill that will provide additional relief for restaurants. I can't think of a better idea than eating outside, even when there's no tent and the sun is blazing on your head. There's something about that in New Jersey. By extending the COVID dining rules, we can help the industry remain safe and effective. That's our objective, Frank, to you and the many like you throughout the state of New Jersey. So God bless this place. We're on sacred grounds. People worked hard to get this place going years ago. I thank you, and I'm honored to be here today, and I will always have your back. Without a gun. God bless you.
Congressman, two thoughts. Is it okay if we paraphrase the president and say that today is a big Franken deal?
Yes.
Okay.
Very good.
Frank, that was for you. And secondly, am I right in saying that Met Oz is a resident of your district? I believe he is, right?
That brings up an interesting subject.
Just want to make sure.
What the hell are you doing running in Pennsylvania?
I wanted to get you going there. I apologize. Thank you so much for everything you do for us. We would not be the state we are without you. Let's hear it again for Congressman Bill Pascrell. I mentioned the two lead sponsors of this bill. We've got them both with us today. Please help me welcome the budget chair in the Senate. He's a mayor of Wood Ridge. He's a senator, and most importantly, he's a great friend and a huge advocate for small businesses. Senator Paul Sarlo.
Thank you, Governor. First of all, thank you for coming to East Rutherford and the 36th Legislative District. You've been very supportive of what we're all trying to accomplish here. In the 20 years that I've had the opportunity to serve in the legislature, a little bit longer as a mayor, I think you will always see my name on the side of economic development throughout the state. I take pride in all the bills that I've sponsored, and I see all my friends from the Chamber of Commerce in promoting economic development around the state of New Jersey. So when COVID hit, of course, and our restaurants shuttered, places like Vesta went to the takeout business, and so many other places around the state. And as we started to come out of that pandemic, we realized that outdoor dining is really cool. Really cool. It's really cool to be outside, enjoy family and friends, enjoy a couple drinks, enjoy some great food, and be part of the community. I look at it this way today. Today we transition, as the governor said, from a necessity to flexibility. We are now providing these small business owners around the state of New Jersey with flexibility. Flexibility to serve customers inside, to serve customers outside, and at the same time, expand their business a little bit. Give them an opportunity to recoup some of those losses. Give them an opportunity to run some private little parties out in the parking lot, to be part of the neighborhood. How great is it to be here celebrating a baby shower while your neighbor's having a cup of coffee on his front stoop? That's what New Jersey is all about. It's unique in so many different ways. So today we talk about going from a necessity to flexibility, to giving our small business owners opportunity. I want to thank you, Governor, for recognizing by signing this bill. And I believe, I'm going to go out on a limb here, I believe we should consider after 2 years at looking at making some of this permanent in the long term. Get rid of the 2-year moratoriums and go to more of a permanent. As I said, for the last 20 years, I've traveled around the state worrying about economic development issues, but I always will say, politics is local, right? Mr. Pascrell, Congressman, right? All politics is local. And that's why we're here today. Because when I go to Trenton, I do fight for the people in my district. I spend a lot of time here at Vesta Wood-Fired Pizza. Great, not just a pizza place, a great restaurant. Spend a lot of time here with my family and friends, and my members of my borough council are here, having some drinks and having some food and sharing some good times, both in here, out here and in there, and as well as Ilya's Restaurant, one of the finest Mediterranean establishments in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut region, with a beautiful outdoor tent area right up the street. So when I go to Trenton, you think about all the restaurants statewide. When I was doing this, I was thinking locally, how's this going to impact my district? And right here in East Rutherford, 2 great establishments being helped by the flexibility of outdoor dining, and so many other restaurants throughout my district in the state of New Jersey. And yes, Congressman, and yes, Governor, we do have the best cuisine, the best restaurants in New Jersey, right here in the 36th Legislative District. We have them all across the board. Thank you, Governor, for being here. God bless you all. Thank you, Frank, for opening your doors. Thank you, Anna Marie, for being here. God bless you.
Absolutely fantastic, Paul. Absolutely fantastic. It's added, I think, a kind of almost a European element to the dining experience. Everywhere. No better example than here or Anna Maria's place. It's just really special. It takes a village. It takes both chambers, in fact, to get to where we are today to sign a bill. And we got a small businessman in his own right, a guy who lives this every day, the guy who led this effort in the Assembly. Please help me welcome Assemblyman from the 16th District, Roy Fryman. Roy.
During the pandemic, it was one particular day, my wife and I had just finished watching the governor's press conference. Spectacular, of course. And she turned to me and she asked me a question. She said, you know, there's a lot of tough news out there. What are some positives that we think are going to come out of the pandemic? Now, I'm an elected official. I'm used to answering questions. I'm used to understanding what people are really asking. So I launched and I said, oh, I got it. No, curbside pickup and outdoor dining. I said, what took us so long to figure this one out? Like, this is spectacular. So I went on and on talking about the things that Paul had talked about of how it's flexibility, it's enjoyable, and we recognize that business owners are incredibly creative. They have chosen, Frank has chosen to give up a 40-hour 9-to-5 job to work 80 hours a week in his own business. That this is what business owners do. So we have to, as a state, do what we can on all the little things to help our small businesses. So I was very comfortable, and as I mentioned, we're here today because the governor is going to be signing this legislation. I want to thank Senator Sarlo for being a great partner, and every other single member of the Senate as well as the Assembly, because every single one of them voted yes in favor of this legislation, and that's huge. So I first of all, thanks again to my colleagues. Just to close, I want to tell you, I remember my wife asked me this question, and I think I'm pretty good at figuring out what people are really asking. So I turned to her and said, well, what do you think were the greatest things? She said, well, I think it's all the extra time we're spending together. And I said, oh, all right. So I didn't get that answer right, clearly, but we got this legislation right. So thank you, Governor, for being here, and thanks for supporting.
Roy, I can't help you out with that last piece, but bless your heart. Unanimously passed in both chambers, not just this time, but the first time, which tells you something. This is well beyond partisan politics. And I'm going to go out on a limb as well, Paul, and say that while I think extending this a couple of years, which is what this legislation does, is a smart first move, I'm color me open-minded to making this part of the furniture forever and always here. So thank you, guys, both of you. I mentioned Mike and Jim and Duvey speaking on behalf of the various business interests today. Please help me welcome the chair of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, one of the really good, outstanding partner organizations in the state. Come on up, Luis de la Hoz. Love you, buddy.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. This is an honor for me to be here with the two champions of small businesses in the state. When we get the call to be part of the reopening committee, we was mentioned a lot of things, especially the word microbusiness. That was something that changed the future of many businesses in the state of New Jersey. And I will say that for a minority business, New Jersey was the best place to be during the pandemic for everything that happened. I remember telling Tim Sullivan that 92% of the businesses in the US are micro businesses. They have less than 5 employees, including the business owner. And the NJEDA released something that they call Monday metrics, that it says that is 97% in the state of New Jersey. We have 5 times more chances to save money if we open a business than if we find a job. We believe that entrepreneurship is the best way that we have to overcome poverty in our community. And let me tell you about Arturo Ortega from La Fortaleza that is here with us today. He opened 2 restaurants during the pandemic. And thanks to this opportunity, he didn't ask for any of the other services that became available for small businesses because he was able to increase between 20 and 50% of the space that he was using to serve the customers. That also helped him to change the turnaround of the restaurant, reduce the waiting time, and he found out a new way to do business. He opened those 2 restaurants in the county of Bergen, one not far from here in Karlstad, and one in Lodi. After 20 years, when everybody was thinking about closing, he decided to open 2 just because he thought that he has the support that he needs in order for him to be successful. Now, restaurants open a lot of jobs. They provide a lot of jobs. And most of the minority business restaurants are located on Main Street. That's why this help is really important for us. I just want to say thank you very much for this opportunity. We believe that this will impact our communities, and we hope that we will take advantage of those opportunities like the other ones that became available, that the NJCIP and others that have been very important for us as a community to be able to move forward. Thank you very much.
Luis, thank you. I love the notion of somebody opening not 1 but 2 restaurants in the pandemic. Where are you, man? God bless you, buddy. How's business? Excellent, excellent. As they say in Hollywood, it's a wrap. But before we sign the bill, I want to thank all of the speakers. I want to thank Frank for hosting us. Anna Maria, same to you. Good luck. All of the representatives. As Jeff and his distinguished council members know, some of whom are here today, as Jim knows, as Ron Simoncini knows, I want to roll the clock forward by 4 years. 4 years from now, we will have just finished the 2026 Men's Soccer World Cup. And it is my hope. We already know we'll have games in East Rutherford. We think we'll have 7 is my guess. It is my hope. We won't know for the next 6 to 12 months. My hope is we will have just finished the finals of the 2026 World Cup right here in New Jersey. With that, let's go sign this thing. First up, our host, Mayor Jeff LaHulier, the borough of East Rutherford. Where are you, Jeff? New Jersey's #1 pugilist in Washington, former mayor, the man himself, Congressman Bill Pascrell. We're in his district, his sponsored this. He's a great leader. Senator Paul Sarlo. Likewise, in the Assembly, we wouldn't be here without him. Assemblyman Roy Fryman. How cool is that, right? Don't try that at home. This is his place. Frank Ciampa from Nesta Woodfire Pizza.
Great liquor license.
To my right, Anna Maria Adenolfi, right? From Elias Mediterranean. America's Senator, Senator Gordon Johnson. The CEO of the New Jersey Economic Development Authority, Tim Sullivan. Bergen County Commissioner Chair, Tracy Zur. Tracy. Thank you. We're calling an audible here at the line of scrimmage. Vice Chair, Tom Sullivan. We heard from him a minute ago. Luis de la Hoz, the statewide Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Mike, I want your fare paid in cash for the train to Washington, Eglinton. Grandpa from the Orthodox Jewish Chamber of Commerce, Duvi Honig. Duvi, where are you? Only in America from the Meadowlands Chamber, Jim Kirkos, my dear friend. Congratulations. And from the Jewish Chamber of Commerce, I saw him on the phone, David Rosenberg. David, are you here? There you go, buddy. Good to see you. Well done. It's my exercise for the day. May I stand up? You just say that this is now the law of the land.
All right.